10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trying to get on since August, and we've been having great difficulty with the internet in streaming this, but I'm going to take a chance. My name is Michael Voss, and this is No Soundbites Allowed. And yes, I am the Dragon of the Southern Tier. And I'm here with you today because we've got something interesting. I'm preparing and I'm getting ready. I have an event coming on today, but I want to talk about Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee and what she was saying about the AR-15. And this is important, folks, because this is one of the leaders of the Democratic Party, one of the leaders trying to take away the Second Amendment, to strip legal, law-abiding citizens from their rights to be able to protect themselves from criminals and the government as well. And as I was preparing for my event today, and I'll just give you a quick look, the event I'm going to be speaking at Binghamton University, I'll be speaking at 8 o'clock. And you're welcome to come on down. I know this is an event that's going to be held by the the Binghamton University Republican Club, and I'm happy to be there with them. I'm looking forward to that. But as I was preparing, I ran into this, and I had to talk about it. Have to talk about this because it is the most insane thing I've ever heard. And it also reminded me something that you may have heard. One of my associates mentioned it once before. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go right to that. Back in 2018, July 2018, one of my good friends, one of the leaders of the Religion of Arms and the Liberty First Foundation, Frank Johnson, was speaking at an event, and he had something to say that I think is very apt and very important for this discussion. Let me bring you right over to him.
Quickest way to know if you're debating somebody who knows anything about guns is more of a personal pet peeve, but I found this to be true. People with little to no knowledge on the subject are the very first ones to call for further regulations and restrictions on your rights. This is how I know who I'm debating and whether or not I've won the debate. Clips and magazines. Anybody know the difference? Okay. Anybody ever heard of the guy had a high capacity clip? No. I just heard of it. This is a magazine. Your bullets go in this. This goes up inside your gun. That's what this is. The magazine. That's a clip, that's a clip, and that's a clip. That's right. When somebody talks to you about all your high capacity clips, you know you're not talking to somebody who knows what they're talking about. They don't. A clip only holds bullets for transport and loading purposes. You put the clip over your gun, you press down on the bullets, it comes out of the clip, you take the clip, you throw it away. Your magazine is the part that holds the bullets in it. So, just a personal pet peeve, but whenever you say, we got to outlaw high capacity clips, go ahead. I don't care, go. Okay. Because once they use up, they're no good no more. Go, take them. I don't care. Take them and have at it. Have at it. No, I actually don't. I don't want you banning anything. I don't want you banning a damn thing.
All right, so that's a short clip by my friend Frank Johnson. And by the way, Frank Johnson is a New York State licensed firearms instructor. So you're listening to an instructor, someone who is knowledgeable about firearms, telling you that when you hear someone talking about high capacity clips, they have no idea what they're talking about. When they're misinforming the public, it's critical to catch what they're saying and pay attention to it. And I brought that up because while Frank says that's one great way to understand it, here's another really great way to understand when someone has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to firearms, and therefore has no idea whether or not you should have a firearm, you as a legal gun owner. Because they have no idea what they're talking about. The concept they're talking about doesn't even appear in movies. This is just made up fiction. And that's what we have with Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee. And this is from the 23rd of September, yesterday. And this is what she had to say publicly And I'm going to just play this clip.
My bill that I've introduced dealing with the caliber weapon, I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving. And the bullet that is utilized, a 50 caliber, these kinds of bullets, need to be licensed and do not need to be on the street.
Okay, so that's Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee. She is a member of Congress. She is trying to put through a bunch of laws on storage, on the number of amount of ammunition that you can have. She's trying to restrict the ability of individuals to have certain types of firearms. She has no idea what she's talking about. Everything you just heard from Sheila Jackson-Lee is wrong. Absolutely, 1,000% wrong. She has no idea what she's talking about. And that's terrifying because she's making laws based on absolute ignorance. That's just a fact. As a matter of fact, it's not ignorance because she has the ability to know what is the correct answer. She doesn't care. And that's even worse. And so let me show you what I mean. Here is, in front of you now, in the quarter, American quarter, this is ammunition that is found in many popular rifles in the United States and around the world. And the cursor that I'm showing, I hope you can see the cursor, but where it says 5.56 millimeter, that's a .223. That's the round for an AR-15. Okay, that's the AR-15. The 7.6 millimeter, that's for the AK-47. The very last one is a 50 caliber rifle. You can't put that in an AR-15. It won't work. You can't possibly do that. She's saying that, oh my God, the 50 caliber, it's incredible. That's horrible. Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee, you have no idea what you're talking about. None. You can't put a 50 caliber round inside an AR-15. It fires a .223 or a 5.4 NATO round. Very simple. Now I know I mentioned all these words. That's why I want you to see the image here so that you, even if you've never seen a firearm in your life, if you've never seen a bullet before in your life, you can't put any of the other, any of these rifles, any of them, you can't put a 50 caliber in them. It won't happen. That's putting a square peg in a round hole. You can't do it. She has no idea what she's talking about, but she wants to deny you the right to have something that she doesn't even understand. She said she was holding an AR-15. You know what? I was in the Marines. I've held a fully loaded M16 in my hands. It weighs about 7.25 pounds. 8.25 pounds, fully loaded. It's about 6.75 pounds unloaded. Okay? That means with a magazine, without a magazine. And I've held it, full arms, laying across both my arms. I can tell you that I don't know of anyone who can't hold an AR-15. She's talking about it's the same weight as 10 packing boxes. How much does a packing box weigh? What's in that packing box? I have no idea. Is she talking about 100 pounds? She's talking about 50 pounds? If she's talking 10 pounds, that's still more than an AR-15. She has no concept of what she's talking about. And you're saying to me, well, Mike, how do you know that's for sure? How do you know? Because on CNN in 2015, they did an article on Cheyenne Roberts. She's a 10-year-old girl, and she is in the image on the right-hand side. She's holding an AR-15 that is modified, in fact, heavier than an average actual AR-15. And she's firing it with no problem whatsoever. That's not a 50 caliber round she's firing. It's that 5.56. And she's firing it. She's actually an expert shooter, and she's holding that up. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm not comparing Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee to me when I was in the Marines 30 years ago, or even today. But I am comparing her to a 10-year-old girl. And I have to believe that Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee, even if she does absolutely no exercise whatsoever, can lift up an AR-15 if a 10-year-old girl can do it. And she has no idea what she's talking about. And this is the person that is trying to control your world. Hang on, let's take another look, because this is a very common argument. You hear this all the time from politicians like Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee and Representative Barbara, out of California. I'll remember her name in a second. Where they just make this up. They just name something. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to go back to my friend, Frank Johnson, who's with the Liberty First Foundation, 20,000 members who are advocates for the Second Amendment. And I want you to see what he had to say about the difference in the type of ammo that is out there.
Desert Storm, the Model 700 and 300 Winchester was the preferred rifle used by American snipers around the world. This is a 223. Okay? This is the dreaded AR-15 round. This one. This. It's a 22 caliber round placed on top of a 30 caliber cartridge. This is the most popular hunting round in the United States. This is a 30-30. 30 caliber round on a 30 caliber cartridge. The media would have you believe that this is what comes out of an AR-15. Kinda, I don't know. A little bit of an unfair fight there, I think, but this is perfectly legal everywhere. Everybody loves this round. This round comes out of that gun, a Model 700 301 mag. I have one from 1955. It's been fired 22 times. Love that gun. The only reason it's been fired 22 times is you wind up with a bruise on your shoulder from here to here after you fire it. Tough round.
All right, so that's my friend, Frank Johnson, a licensed firearms instructor for the state of New York. And he's going through a very quick example of how you hear politicians make up things, just making it up, because they want you to be scared. And they want you to think, like Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee, that the far right image of a 50 caliber round is the same thing as the round in the middle, the 5.56. They're not the same at all. Not in the same universe. They want you to think that this is some heavy, massive weapon, except a 10-year-old can hold this. And you know what? Lots of women like the various firearms out there. They like to shoot. They like to be able to protect themselves. And I know that not because I think so, but I'm going to show you a final clip from CNBC. Again, I'm going to sources that are not pro-Second Amendment. I'm going to sources that are not the right wing. I'm going to the left. And they're telling you that Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee has no idea what she is talking about. So let's take a look at what CNBC had to say in their article when they were discussing the Second Amendment and women.
Fire!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women. 7.
Our organization is called A Girl and a Gun Women's Shooting League. And we started February 28th, 2 years ago. So we just celebrated our second anniversary. I had 5 ladies that came out with me on that first night. And now nationwide, we are in, I believe, 28 chapters in 11 states.
Take 2 more rounds. Get into a good forward body lean. Put just the pad of your finger on the trigger, like so. Good. Now nice easy press.
You see that child?
How was that? Not too bad.
Yeah.
No kick, right?
Yeah.
Child.
Awesome. Okay, we'll do it a couple more times.
Okay.
And then we'll move you up to the big girl gun.
Long guns are always great to train children on because there's so much more of the frame to work with. They have more things to hold on to.
hold it here. Good. Load it forward. So you felt it click. Good. Take your thumb, push that lever in. Okay, we're ready to go. So now get it into your shoulder. Okay, take it off as safe, flip it down. Now this is where you gotta get a good forward lean into it. Now this is gonna be just louder and it's gonna kick just slightly more. Whenever you're ready, put your pad of your finger on and press. How was that?
That was good. We have private Facebook pages for all of our chapters, and all the girls ooh and ah over it. And you know, what are you gonna name her? Oh, can you bring it next time? I want to shoot it. So yeah, there is a little bit of a status when you get a new gun of any kind. But right now, rifles are very hot.
All right, and so that's from CNBC. Again, that's from CNBC primetime. I'm not putting out anything from the right. This is the left, and they are telling you over and over again. You're seeing live. You're seeing images. You're seeing CNN. All the media are trying to tell you what Sheila Jackson-Lee is telling you. Oh my God, these weapons, they're so terrible. They're so powerful. No human being could possibly hold this. These are weapons of mass destruction. They're like dropping bombs on people. No, they're not. Come on. Sheila Jackson-Lee, you have no idea what you're talking about. 10-year-old girls, little girls, are able to hold this firearm. They're able to shoot this firearm with instructors being taught. All you have to be is be trained. We have over a million people, well over 3 million people right now in the service who all fire an AR-15. Many of them are women. They don't seem to think it's that impossible, that it's that heavy. It's not that deadly. Not including all the people who served previously. But Sheila Jackson-Lee seems to have this, I don't know, I can't even think of a movie where what she's talking about is somehow a reality. She's in a fantasy land, and she wants to use this fantasy to take away your rights. Because of her fantasy, her nightmare that she's having about firearms, she's saying, it's so heavy, it's so deadly, it's such a big round. You have no idea what you're talking about, but because she doesn't, she wants to take away your right to have that firearm. She wants to take away your right to protect yourself. She wants to turn the American citizens into citizens of Venezuela, where the government, according to the New York Times, is being killed. They are being killed by the government. The government took away the right of individuals to have firearms, and in the last 2 years, over 5,000 Venezuelans have been killed by their government. Because everyone tells you it can't happen, and yet it does. And this is what Sheila Jackson-Lee wants you to believe. This is what Sheila Jackson-Lee wants to say. Sheila Jackson-Lee is an idiot. And I say that because she had the opportunity. She has an entire congressional staff. She has 435 members of Congress, well over 45 members of Congress who are ex-military, both Democrats and Republicans. If she had a question about the AR-15, there is no doubt in my mind she has dozens of people she can go to at any moment without going to the NRA and find out real-world information. But instead, she wants to make up her fantasy, her nightmare, and try and tell you, you should be scared, be afraid. Sell that fear so that she can get the power to take away your rights. And once they're gone, she can do anything else because you won't be able to defend yourself. You know what? I really, really get angry when I hear this, when I see this. I'm really angry at Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee. Not because she's a woman, not because she's black, not even because she's a Democrat. Because she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's trying to make law that will harm 160 million Americans. Every other person that is in America today is a firearm owner. Every other person in America will be hurt because she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she is making it up. Yes, we should laugh at her. Yes, 10-year-olds embarrass her. 10-year-olds embarrass Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee. But more importantly, America should be afraid because Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee is in Congress and she is trying to make a law to hurt you. Are you going to let her do it? That's what I had to say today. I hope you have a great day. If you can, I hope to see you over at Binghamton University later tonight. But otherwise, I want everyone to be well. And I'm looking forward to this evening's event. I will be streaming that, so keep an eye out for that. Again, I'll talk to you guys soon. Everyone be well.